Always Talking Shit Show.
Yo, 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 what's up, fellas?
Welcome to the show.
What's happening? It's your boy Talkin, and it's the Always Talking Shit Show.
It's your boy Akeem, and like my nigga said, we are the Always Talking Shit podcast, coming at you live and direct.
Yeah, it's your boy O in the building.
Fuck how you feel.
Let's do this.
So, I want to start off by saying rest in peace to Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
RBG.
Respect.
You know, Miss Women's Rights herself.
Definitely a giant.
Miss all rights.
Yeah, she was definitely a giant in the field of women's rights. And I think that, anybody that sacrifices a large sector of their life for human growth, whether it's whatever political side that you find yourself on, man, when you don't have a lot of scandals and you're not really considered to be a cruel person, you're just going off your intentions. Even if you disagree with some of the methods, it's still, it's sad to see a person like this go, especially she's has several bouts with the fight of, fighting cancer. Fuck cancer.
Fuck cancer.
And, another one gone.
Well, fuck you.
Facts. So what else
Yeah,
you want
man.
to...
Rest in peace, man. RBG.
I'm on the bike right now. Hold on, man.
The crazy thing about all that to me is, there's no respect, in American politics. All those guys, they do a lot of lip service. They like to talk a lot of shit about how great, the person was and, the great thing that they did and all that. But that's where it ends. They don't have respect, So all the shit that they're running about, talking about they're trying to do, and the lady has not even passed away for 24 hours yet. I mean, it just speaks to how just disloyal people are, especially in politics.
Let me play devil's advocate with that. I agree that there's been a moniker of disrespect and classless, things being said, but I expect that from certain people in politics, a certain sector of politics, because all of them aren't the same. But it seems like the negative ones and the faulty dudes and women are like the most loudest, are the most loud. But to play devil's advocate, these political positions aren't owned by anyone. So I get it. If this was we're talking about the her being the president and CEO of a Fortune 500 company that she built that did a lot of great deeds, I would stand with you a little more firm in the sense of give it time. She hasn't been dead that long, but that's a position that is owned strictly by the people, and it needs to be filled as quickly as possible.
One of the
in a lot of ways, but at the same time, it needs to be filled in a just way. No matter who gets that seat, I just want a fair and earnest transition and opportunity for it. So whoever whatever incoming president for this new election,
person that I don't
they should get to nominate it.
One of the females that's running for it, not that I don't, it should be another female that has it, don't get it twisted, but her whole slogan is life starts at conception. So you're already running on a religious stand. No, psych, I don't like none of that.
No, me neither.
We're not doing none
because
of that.
A large sector of our country isn't religious.
So, to counter your being filled as quickly as possible, when that same position opened up when Barack Obama was president, and we were still in February, all these Republicans came out and said, let the people decide.
No, I think that it should be the same way now.
Well, that's not what they're doing now. We're literally 44 days away from the election.
I'm not arguing for or against that. What I just said is that it needs to typically be filled as quickly as possible, meaning the incumbent president, whether that's Donald Trump or whether that's Joe Biden, that's who should fill that position. It shouldn't be squeezed in. And let me make myself clear if I wasn't more clear. It shouldn't be squeezed in an election during an election cycle.
Right, because
So
you know,
I
like
agree
I
with you on
said,
that.
back when Obama was president, we were still in February, and all those guys came out.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, even Lindsey Graham came out and said himself, if a vacancy opened up in the last year of Donald Trump, they are not going to do anything. And the correspondent,
yeah, but he's
or
a
the,
fucking liar. He's a documented liar.
all of them, not only Lindsey Graham, Ted Cruz,
Yeah, you're naming the Republican Party.
know,
Keep going. The whole Republican Party.
Rubio,
Spineless.
you know,
They're liars.
Mitch McConnell, you know.
Bitch
But we know
McConnell.
that's their playbook. So the thing is my whole thing is, what are the Democrats going to do about it? What are the American people going to do about it? Because we can't just blame the Republicans for how they treated Barack Obama, because the American people.
No, it's not. It's not
No, I
even.
know, I'm
It's
not
not
saying
even
that. Hold
about
on.
Barack
The
Obama.
American,
It's about their words.
that we're comparing the way they treated Obama to the way they're going to treat Donald Trump. And we have to get on the American people, because the American people allowed that to happen as well. The American people sat on the sideline and watched Obama get treated like shit by the Republican
and another
Party,
another
and
thing
not
is
did anything.
this. We need the motherfuckers need to get shit correct. Okay, all this running around about voting for a president. Get the fuck out of here. You can miss me with that shit. Fuck voting for a president. What motherfuckers really need to be voting for are fucking Supreme Court justices. That's what people really need to vote for.
It's about voting,
because
period.
having a couple of motherfuckers in the Senate deciding who is going to make rules for generations about millions of people's lives based on their party agenda.
How do you get people
Get the
that think
fuck
like
outta
that?
here.
How do you get people that think like you with such open-mindedness in elected positions? You vote. You vote, and you're seeing.
No.
You're
What
seeing.
I'm
No, you're
saying-
seeing with an ill-minded president, right? A do-nothing president. You're seeing with the power that they yield. So
What I'm
at the
saying is-
at the same time, I get what you're saying.
The Senate should not be the one that decides.
But how does that change in a
justice.
democratic system? How do you get that to be changed? You can't get that changed without enacting voters, without enacting voters that hold the people that they vote for responsibly. So it's not voting for a slogan. It's not voting for who your mother said vote for. It's actually, look, your number one responsibility as an American citizen is to do your due diligence and know who the fuck you're putting in power to protect this very thing that we call America. If black people don't want to be enslaved literally and physically, they have to get out and be activists. They have to get out and be proactive in their system and in their systematic oppression and fighting that. They have to be proactive in developing their neighborhoods, policing their neighborhoods. We have to be proactive. It's not about picking and choosing who to vote for, because it's about being an informed voter. What's wrong? It's not that hard. It's not a big task to ask. Be informed about the men and women that you're putting in office, because don't let them motherfuckers go into office and then complain about it. It's too late. They're already in office. They're already in power. We all have mindsets of like, oh, well, it should be like this. But the only way that it's designed for any of that to change is by voting. And it's history that proves that. It's history that proves that being black in this
Okay, I mean,
country,
so if that's
being galvanized, educated, and voting is what lifted us out of oppression
if that's
in a
the,
lot of ways.
If that's the case, then the system needs to be changed. Then the voters need to vote for the system to change. Because
But
again,
That's what
but you're
people
saying
have
what
been
you're
talking
saying what
about
I'm
this
saying.
whole- yeah,
okay,
that's
so
what
the people
everybody's
need to
been
be
trying
the.
to do.
But what I'm saying is, fuck voting for a president. The people need to
Okay.
be the one who chooses
You hear
who
that a lot.
becomes the justice.
But Dio, you hear that a lot. But this is the thing I'm gonna counter with that. I hear people, and it's kind of a naysayer mentality. Like, oh, the president don't matter. Don't vote for the president. Vote for this person. Vote for that person. We
No,
just hold on. We
I'm
just
not
agreed.
saying don't vote for a president, but what I'm saying is this: people run around every 4 years like this presidency shit is important. Is not as
How do you-
important as the Senate being the one who chooses this lifetime people who make these laws that affects everybody's
What
life.
do you think the
What
Senate
needs
was
to
going to accomplish
what
without a Barack Obama in
what
office?
needs to happen is this: just like these judges have records, they put their records out and
Right.
they run, and the people vote for whoever they want to become. Not 53 people in the Senate
Listen to me.
deciding.
No, you're dicing this, and it's not to be diced. That's what democracy is. It's all facets of these things because you need all facets of these things to really implement real change. Otherwise, you're just talking about a filibuster ass government where everybody's on one side and the other side just arguing. No, it don't work like that. You're gonna need people that even though they might be Republican, they're open-minded Republicans. They're Republicans to be proven to not have any kind of racial or sexual bias, right? And you need those people to get in the office and to get across the aisle with people that are left-leaning and very liberal, but willing to concede some. That's how America works. It's proven. That's the only way anything gets done, unless it's done in like a gangster ass back alley way to where one side is going to be happy, one side is not going to be happy. The bottom line is most people that are arguing against voting and dicing up the voting system aren't really active and informed voters. I'm not speaking of you individually, but what I'm saying is yes, judges matter, but damn it, the Senate does too.
The Senate and the House matters to me.
In my opinion,
I'm
the
not,
most.
I'm not
The
saying
Senate
none
and
of
the
the
House
things don't matter.
But no, what you're saying is.
But I'm
we
saying
shouldn't be
they
worried
shouldn't be the
about-
one choosing these people.
What do you?
Okay,
The Senate.
you're saying what we're saying, but you're saying it differently.
Right.
And that's what my problem is with people that go off and be like, "Oh well,
No.
We should."
What I'm saying is, it doesn't matter.
Don't diminish
It
who the
doesn't. It
president
doesn't
of the
matter
United
who I.
States is. That's
no,
how
no,
we
no.
get in this
What I'm
situation.
saying is,
It's
it doesn't
because
matter
it's
who
already
you
been
put in the
diminished.
Senate. It doesn't matter even if whoever you put in the Senate is doing what the people want, they still go with their party agenda.
Hold on, no, wait. What we're talking about? See, you're arguing very broad, in a broad basis.
No,
And
what
we need
I'm
to be a little bit more specific.
What I'm
Because
saying is,
you never heard anybody say, "Hey, just vote for the president, nothing else matters." But sometimes that's the argument against like-minded people. It's not like we're far off on how we think about this.
no. Now I'm not saying.
I'm not
what
saying
I'm
that's
saying is
exactly what you're
what I'm
saying,
saying.
but that's how it comes off.
Every section of the government, as far as voting concerned, is important, especially when it comes to municipal and local government.
Right.
And all that shit is important. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to picking justices, for example, another reason why that shit is important that the people do it is this. Look at all the shit that these niggas are doing right now to try to put another motherfucker in 44 days.
Imagine if all the people that are offended by that was registered, active, and voted for the one person on the Democratic side that literally spoke out against these very things as he was running for the last two presidential terms.
And
That's
was fucked
why
out
you're
of both
making
of
my point, my brother. It's about being an informed electorate. Like you have to be a person that decides, you know what, I live in this country. I might not have individual power because I'm not wealthy, but I'll be damned if I'm not going to go in there and not know exactly who the fuck I'm voting for. Because you have Democrats that move like Republicans, and you have Republicans that actually move like Democrats. It is your job, your responsibility to do your due diligence. This is all public record. You can see the judges that are racist. You can see the judges that are biased towards privately owned prisons. And they have to run for election. You're right. But we don't know their fucking names. But everybody knows, like the Mitch McConnells. Mitch McConnell, yes, he's an important figure, but he's from Kentucky. And more people should be concerned with him in Kentucky than nationally. Because if they were dealing with him in Kentucky, his ass wouldn't have so much national power. And it's starting to come out because Kentuckians are realizing like we're 50th in everything. Everything that a state would be proud of, we're 50th in. And we got one of the most powerful Republican men
right in the government
as our representation. He don't do shit for poor people. He works for rich people. And this is to be said by a lot of name brand politicians. How do you get them out of office? You challenge them. How do you challenge them? Vote. It sounds corny. It doesn't sound powerful enough. It doesn't sound radical enough. But and we talk so much about state government. Oh, vote locally. Okay, that's cool. But black people in America should be reminded, it's the federal government that stepped in when the governor of Alabama didn't want to let our black asses go to school. It's the federal government that stepped in Mississippi. It's the federal government that lifted black people out of slavery and gave us the right to vote. It's the pressure that we put, and it's the people that we got in office on the federal level.
Right. And
so we can't ever lose sight of that as well. All this shit is important. B.
At this point, that pressure needs to be heightened than a motherfucker, because politics is the only motherfucking job where these motherfuckers can say shit and they are rubbing it in your face. I don't know no other motherfucking job where you can tell your boss you're gonna do something and you don't do that shit and you continue to have your job.
Well,
so people need to rethink
right now,
what it means to vote for politicians.
No, stop. But right now, they don't know who you're saying it like we're their boss. You're talking about a utopia. Right now, they don't work for us. That's the problem. Because they've rocked a lot of us to sleep. And we're despondent, like, you know what,
that's
fuck
what
it, I ain't voting anyway.
That's what I mean.
I ain't voting anyways. So meanwhile, the people that are in office, right? They're in office, and guess what they doing? All they doing is acting like they're sexist, acting like they're against LGBTQ, acting like they're against black people. In a certain sector of white people,
all I'm saying
are
is
voting for them, putting them in power,
matters.
And then they're selling us all out.
Accountability
to corporate
matters. If all these motherfuckers ran around last year and said we are not going to choose a justice because we were in an election year and we were still in February, but we are in fucking September, about to be in October, and they're about to do that shit. So all I'm saying is this: accountability matters. If they do that shit, all them niggas need to be voted the fuck out.
Wait. You said it. Voted the fuck out, right?
That's what I'm saying. People need to be sleeping. They need to stop sleeping on that shit. Because at this point, these motherfuckers are rubbing that shit in your face.
But the thing
they are telling you that you are fucking dumb. They can tell you one thing and not do that shit.
You got be more specific, brother. There's millions of people that are not sleeping on this.
Okay, whoever it is that is sleeping on.
But no, stop. Because we need the motherfuckers to help us get Bernie in office. And guess what? Everybody that's fucking complaining about this shit now sat back on the sideline, fam. And said niggas was fools for voting, and how this shit don't matter, and how really you should only vote for the fucking justice. Really you should only vote for the Senate. But those people didn't show up for Bernie. So now we have a career politician, like Bernie is a career politician, but he's always seemingly been on the right side. When you vet him, a lot of the shit that we're talking about right now, that's what he ran on, fam.
Can I say something?
You've been welcome to the party, man. Come on.
I was trying to talk this.
It's okay. We're good.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody.
Let me counter what you said. The reason they didn't go around all year talking about justice, a Supreme Court justice, that's a position till you die.
No. I'm talking about not last year. I mistakenly spoke.
You're talking about them being hypocritical
and when Barack Obama was in office.
He was
Justice Scalia passed away in February in his last year. All these Republicans said, because we are in an election year, we are not going to let Barack Obama nominate a new justice. We have to let the American people vote.
You need to swing over and close that up real quick behind you. Good looking, bro. My bad. I don't mean to cut you off.
Like, we have to let the American people vote to decide who's going to pick the new justice. That's what I was saying.
No,
but now that RBG just passed away, 44 days before the election, all these Republicans are now saying we're going to give a hearing to whoever this president nominates next week.
When have they not done these things?
Because it's their chance. It's their chance to take the spot from a leftist person. Or the leftists, what they refer to us. It's the chance to take that spot from who had it for the last 30 years.
And I'm saying that's cool. All that chance is cool. If they do that shit, they need to be voted out. Because at that point, all they're doing is...
No. You're speaking from our point of view, fam. What you're forgetting is that half this fucking country is cheering this shit on. That's why we can't afford to have anybody that thinks like us, that can vote, not vote. Because one thing about that other side, that conservative side, that excluded side, that side that likes to exclude others, they're on a string, bro. They're on code, and they vote.
See, I'm not disagreeing with nothing nobody is saying. All I'm saying is this: at this point, if these people go ahead and do this shit and don't so-called let the American people decide like they said 4 years ago, they need to be voted out.
But
politicians need to be just as held as accountable as all of us who has regular jobs.
But when does none of us ever happen?
That's our
but
same issue
needs
with the.
to
Hold on, but that's
That's
our
never
same
happened.
issue. First off, none of this shit matters, dog, and we're talking hot air. If we can't agree that everybody needs to get on a string and vote, because that's the only one power. As
That's
a
what I'm
American.
saying. Okay, so we're saying the same thing.
Okay,
people need to vote.
Okay, thank you.
that like-
That's what we've been saying.
That's
this
all
whole
I'm saying.
time, dog. And it's
So
more
we're
than
all
just voting.
saying the same
And it's
thing.
more than just voting. It's being an informed voter. It's not voting for what celebrity said vote for so and so. It's not voting because this politician was on a show that you like. It's about finding out how these people think, what their record is, who's funding them, who they're going to be beholden to once they're in office. That's the one power that poor Americans have. Now, what I will say is this, man, like, in my mind, it's not just voting, it's not just being informed voting. You got to go a little extra in my mind. I'm saying, hey, what's up with these news outlets? And what's up with these so-called journalists that's not holding these so-called politicians and people, these civil servants accountable?
Yes,
like,
sir.
and that's one thing. They jump on them when it's all collectively. Like, oh, this person got caught in a scandal and they couldn't get covered up, so
Right.
we're all pouncing on him. But at the end of the day, these motherfuckers get around
They don't
and
deal
they
with
get
them
away
in
with
real
robbing
time.
us deaf, dumb, and blind.
Yes.
And the mainstream media, for the most part, doesn't really expose it or hold them accountable for it.
They don't hold them accountable in real time. Like, if you're interviewing a motherfucker and it's clearly lying or going around the question, let that motherfucker know that's what he's doing, and that's not what we're here for.
And you're starting to
You know?
see it in some ways, because I think that one thing about online media and non-professional journalists, call them YouTubers, call them influencers, podcasters, whatever you want, there's competition there. And it might be, to some people, foolish to say that, with the financial gaps and things like that, and the gaps in reach. But there was never competition before. And there's a lot of people that are turned off from corporate sponsored mainstream media because they know that shit comes with a slant. But it's time we're in the information era, and it's time to not be lazy. It's time to get informed. It's time to be active. It's time to do what you need to do. And let's face it, if money is what moves these people, we got to get our money up. We got to get our money up collectively, informed bodies. Shout out to those people in Georgia that put their money together, those families, and bought over 100 acres and created their own town. Because what happens with that is that comes with your own political structure, you know what I'm saying, your own police department, et cetera, and then you really have power. You know what I
Voting
mean?
power is way different when you got that type of
So
shit.
we gotta get right. We gotta get armed, and we gotta get armed with knowledge. We gotta arm ourselves with accountability. We gotta arm ourselves with unity, because we all fucked up, and now everybody is seeing who really matters. These motherfuckers gave out aid to multi-billion-dollar corporations before they made sure the people that made these corporations multi-billion-dollar entities were taken care of. And that's something that the American people should never forget. As far as I'm concerned, everybody in politics right now could lose their job, because certain things happen and everybody get fired. It don't matter who was directly responsible. You know, we watch an NFL team lose 3 seasons in a row. They come in and fire the whole regime, right? What they call it, a regime change.
Right?
Like, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
man, we
saying.
need to get it.
Office
So
change.
That's what I'm saying. In the real world, for everybody else, you just don't fuck around at your job and keep getting a chance to keep fucking around. And motherfuckers don't hold you accountable for that shit.
In the government.
So
That's
Fuck
falling
the
in place.
politicians, and people need to start, nigga. You don't do your job your first term, you don't get another fucking term. Cause niggas like Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, all these motherfuckers who's been there for
Career
years,
politicians.
they've now think that shit is theirs. Like they can never be voted out. Now they can just do whatever the fuck they want, say whatever the fuck they want. Fuck that shit. That shit is over with, man.
That nigga, hey, you ever notice that nigga Mitch McConnell looked like Danny DeVito Penguin in Batman 2?
Hey, I know he looked like a devil. I know he looks like
Oh,
he looks
John
like
Lovett's old.
he looks
Oh,
like
John
he looks
Lovett's
like what the devil looks like.
chin looking motherfucker.
I
Fuck
mean,
him.
Come on, people.
And
Please,
then
yo.
let's talk about.
But how many people know Mitch McConnell's name and face? Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
And then talking about federal government not doing their job as well, and then state fucking ran departments not doing their fucking job. Dieter.
Right. I mean, now the Justice Department is is naming American states as anarchist jurisdiction. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Hold on, we'll go to that one later. Me and Kim got a little tiff.
You want to get on these niggas' heads?
A little tiff.
I want to get on these niggas' heads so we can get this shit moving and get off this type of shit. But
Tiff.
yeah, pardon us, Dial.
Okay. So.
Dieter.
Well, fuck you.
Just to start off, there's about 65,000 Americans out there right now waiting on government aid from the CARES Act since March. My nigga right here being one of them. These motherfuckers ain't got no answer for nobody. They had a call center that couldn't even make a difference. Just to put in notes and shit. They had no type of power to do anything, to the point where they had to cancel a contract they had signed for like the next year. Revamp the whole shit from the top bottom. Kimberly Gaw, the head of that shit, she's gone. They fired her. They should fire Gregory Ott's little bitch ass too. If I ever see him, I might punch him in his fucking throat.
We don't condone violence here at the ATS.
But it's like you got motherfuckers out here, and I guarantee it, we just ain't hearing about it, but there's people probably out here killing themselves over this shit.
Well, that's a touchy subject. I mean, they probably are, but just skipping over that, I think that it's just pure bureaucratic bullshit.
Right.
And it's another problem I have with us, the citizens. We don't hold these individuals accountable. We don't vet the people that we put in power and the people that they put in power. And so we could have seen that this incompetence was there all along. We knew it was there. People complained about it, but we had jobs. It didn't affect us. And you're on unemployment, so you're a lazy piece of shit. Get a job.
Exactly.
Right? So now that everybody couldn't work and everybody had to depend on this system and it's fucked up.
Now everybody sees it.
Now
they
everybody
want it
yeah.
Now it needs to be changed. But before, we were pieces of shit because we didn't work and we were getting money from the government that we pay into in taxes. So how the fuck you gonna get mad at me for reaping the benefits of something that I pay into every fucking dollar I make?
You're kind of saying what I'm saying, but you are a self-sufficient businessman that owns your own company. You weren't collecting just unemployment. You didn't start receiving any kind of unemployment business benefits until they shut down the country.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's different.
None of that shit.
And what happens is you have people, men and women, that have worked their whole entire lives, like myself, and has never really depended on unemployment. And now the one time you're forced to depend on unemployment, they can't even get you your funds out. My shit is all fucked up. They didn't want to change all. Man, I don't know. I don't even want. It's draining, man.
They've done shit to the point where like they go
Dieter.
in and have deleted people's like information they've set and put in there to where they had to re-upload the shit. They've done shit and changed like the answers that we've done over the weeks about what happened.
Do.
These niggas done changed all answers on us before, then had to go back and change them. They got a fucking lawsuit against them right now.
I might have to join that shit.
People suing them.
Any lawyers that hear this, man, holla at me.
Hey, shout out Mark Thurman. That's the fucking lawyer that's handling this fucking case. That nigga's the man for sure.
I need to reach out to Mark.